Hi everyone, my name is Carl Brooks and welcome today. I'm hopping here into a Facebook Live and just want to give you one of my biggest insights that I've had this week. Now, for those of you who perhaps don't know me, my name is Carl Brooks. I'm a business coach and I help coaches, healers and entrepreneurs to set up a successful business online. And in particular, I like to make the structure clear, all the processes clear, and just make it easy for you to create your online business for home and have the success of living your life on your terms, having that freedom that an online business gives. So today, I'm hopping in here today to share with you, as I said before, one of the biggest insights that I've already had this year in the new year, which is really important, I think, if you are just starting out, but even if you are an existing business owner and you want to take your online business to the next level, this is pretty crucial as well. So I just want to make sure that we are all set up to go. I've got my handy telephone here. I want to make sure that I can see you, that you're here live and see the comments. So I'm just going to make sure that I can see that we're broadcasting, that everything's great, and we're just going to dive in. Perfect. Okay, I can see it right here. Great. So an important subject in business, as in life, is time. And what I've realized is that the future obviously gets shorter over time. And perhaps the way you think about your future is different when you're 13 compared to when you're 50 in terms of what you can do with your life and what you want to achieve. But there's no need to think about time or the lack of time all the time, but it is good to reflect upon the amount of time that is available, because the truth is time is finite. And I've come to the realization, I'm now 48, I'm coming up to 50, that if I live to the age of 80, that means I've got roughly 30 more new years to come. 30 more new years. And I don't say that to be depressing. I just say that to really emphasize that time is finite, that we are here for a limited time, and we can use that as a motivation to achieve whatever we want to achieve and to live the life that we want if we choose to use the understanding of time correctly, which is really what this is all about. So the question that I had to ask myself, and I really invite you to ask yourself as well, is what are you going to do with the time, the rest of the time that you have available? Perhaps you are around my age and maybe you have 13 new years left, maybe you have a few more, maybe a few less. But this is an important question to stop and reflect upon. So as I said, I've reached that age in my life and I've really realized that I have to take account. I really have to take it seriously how I wish to live the rest of my life. And one of the problems that I came up against last year is, with JJ and I, we wanted to go on holiday, and for whatever reason, we were working very hard. We did some workshops, we did retreats, we did an online course, and we didn't quite get around to taking a 2-week holiday that we wanted to. And I admit I'm a bit of a workaholic, but at the same time, I do love to serve and to care for my audience. And of course, we've got a business to run as well. Now, we did take about 4 or 5 days away, and we went to Tuscany in Italy, but it wasn't really that 2-week holiday that we wanted. So I reflected upon that, and I thought, well, how often am I going to skip holidays? Because I really only have 30 more years here, or am I going to make it a priority to rest and take quality time away, to reflect, do the things that I really want to do, knowing that life is so short? So, this awareness of time being finite and limited is important. It's important to help us make better choices and better decisions so that we can live our best life. And if there's anything I'd like you to take away from today, it's really that question: how are you going to live your best life in the time that you have available? So, it's insane to use that time to argue with people. It's insane to use that time to be depressed and confused and not know what to do, because we can always ask and always find out what the next steps are in our life. It's also insane not to follow our dreams, not to do the things that we want in our life. It's insane not to live life on our terms and to step up and to take a stand for the finite time that we are here on this planet. So, of course, life is full of ups and downs, of challenges and struggles and lessons to be learned. I get that. But my point is, the time is finite, and we should use that time more consciously to follow our dreams. If that's something that you want to do, for example, if you are wanting to start an online business, if you want to follow that dream that you've put on the shelf for a long, long time and perhaps are procrastinating about it, I'd love you today to use this concept about time and it being limited and finite to give you that extra boost and motivation and momentum to get off your chair and follow your dreams, because, my friend, as with my life, I probably have about 30 more New Years. That's 30 more times I'm going to experience Christmas, 30 more years I'm going to experience the summer, 30 more years I'm going to experience the birthdays and good times that I have with my loved ones. So it's insane to procrastinate. We're going to have the whole of eternity in the afterlife to procrastinate. But whilst we're here, life is for the living. Life is for action takers. Life is for risk takers. Life is for people who take life by the horns and find a way to make it work, to follow their dreams. And you know what? Haven't you always found a way to make it work when you followed something that your heart truly wants to do? So again, when you follow your dreams, it gives you purpose, it gives you direction, it lights you up, it makes you excited. And isn't that the thing that we're all looking for? I mean, beyond being financially successful, beyond being surrounded by our loved ones, there's a part of us, of our soul, that wants to feel joy and excitement of purpose and direction and finding our reason to be here. And following your dreams is part of that process. So, as I said, I am a business coach. I help people to build an online business on their terms so they can have that freedom and experience that joy, the excitement that their soul is really looking for. So what I'd like to do is to share with you 10 of the top mindsets that I use in my business, that I have really experienced and found to be true, things that I wish I knew when I first started out in coaching. And at the end of that, I'm going to give you an invitation to join me on a free training to talk about another 25 mindsets. So in total, there are 35 mindsets that I'm really going to help you with today if you follow the training, which I'll give you the link afterwards, after the next 10 mindsets I'm going to share with you, so that you can hear all 35 of them, because they are so important to keep that motivation going, get your confidence up, and to help you follow your dreams, knowing that your time is finite here. And if anything I'd like you to do today is to draw some inspiration from that and motivation to take a stand for that part of you that really does want to live life on your terms. So let's start with mindset number one. I'm going to share with you that right now, and that is just to put your skepticism aside, because if I can run a successful online business internationally, clients all over the world, then so can you. I don't have a fancy MBA. What I do have is tenacity, consistency, belief that even if I don't know how to do something, I at least can find out how. And that alone has been the cornerstone of my business. I have a mouth, so I can ask if I don't know how to do something, right? So put away any skepticism and that little inner voice that says, I can't do that, Carl, it's all very good for you, but I can't do it, because it's simply not true. You can find out how to do things. Haven't you always found a way to make things work? Yes. So mindset number two is make it important. You know, stop procrastinating. If it's important enough, you're going to make it a priority. You're going to make it work. And it's that mind shift that's going to help you. Now, the comfort zone feeds on procrastination. And the word procrastinate actually comes from the Greek prokrastinos, which means to put things off till tomorrow. So your comfort zone puts you in this cage of procrastination. And one of its big words that it uses to control you is later. I'll do it later. That's the comfort zone talking. That's not your soul. That's not your excitement. That's not your joy. That's not your purpose, not your passion, what you're here to do. That's the comfort zone, my friend. It says, I'll do that later. It's not a priority. So make your dream a priority. Make living life on your terms a priority, and you're going to be golden. That's mindset number 2. Mindset number 3 is to create opportunities. And that means becoming very good at looking out for problems to solve. So understanding the problems that your audience wants resolved, and then getting to the business of creating programs or coaching or solutions or adding value to actually speak to those problems and offer them solutions. This is the best way to create opportunities that makes your audience go, oh my God, Carl, it's like they're in my head. You know exactly what I need. You know exactly what my problem is. You know exactly what I need in terms of a solution. That's because I've become very curious to learn the actual problems of my audience, and of course, providing solutions that they really want. That's going to help them. Mindset number 4 is to go for growth. Go for growth. Not only business growth, but also personal growth. So what can you do better? And also, of course, how can you increase your energy, your physiology, to ensure that you're well rested, that you have enough water and nutrients in your body, that you exercise? How can you raise your energy so that you can do better? And of course, also do better than all those other people in your field or your competitors, because raising your energy is going to ensure that you do better and you show up consistently. As I said at the top of this call, that really is the cornerstone of my business, showing up with my best energy consistently. That's going to increase my growth, personal growth, and my business growth. And my friend, that's exactly what I want for you. So mindset number 5 is to think big. So create a big vision for yourself. Now, we've all heard of vision boards. Well, I want you to take that to the next level. I want you to think of your vision, but also add the emotion of how you will feel when you reach that vision, when you've achieved it. So if it's a world trip that you want to do, I want you to imagine yourself flying and arriving at these beautiful locations. How's it going to feel with joy and happiness and peace and achievement and excitement? All of these things are really important. Or if you're going to start your own business, how will that feel when you finally step into your purpose and give your gifts to the world, start earning your worth with who you are and what you know, and build a profitable, sustainable, and meaningful business that helps you to contribute and fills you up with fulfillment? How's that going to make you feel? So think big, create a big vision for yourself, but also add those emotions, because we are driven by emotions. We are emotional creatures, and it's not necessarily the practical aspects of our big vision and dreams that pull us forward. It's actually the financial, but also the emotional rewards that we get from it. Does that make sense? I hope it does. Mindset number 6 is really keep going to succeed. As I said before, consistency and showing up and being persistent is the cornerstone of my business. I've built an international online business. I run retreats in Italy, here in Europe, also in South Africa. I have clients around the world. And if anything, that's come from sheer consistency and persistence. Persistence in growing my knowledge, in putting myself out there, in asking for help, in learning new skills to overcome any of the technology that's needed to build a business. Because let me tell you, my friend, I am not a big tech freak. I do not have a big technical background, but I have a core value, which is just to learn anything that I need to know to make my dream a reality. All right. And that's what I want to impart with you today. Keep going to succeed, ask questions, learn, or if there are things that you don't want to do in your business, simply outsource them to someone who does it well and who loves doing those things that you perhaps don't like to do. Mindset number 7 is to make commitments, because as you may have noticed in life already, good intentions don't always work. In fact, most of them don't, because there's no commitment around it. And why is that? Because when we set good intentions, the chances are that we're going to have to overcome or learn or feel uncomfortable feelings in order to get the result that we want. And so when we come up against those obstacles and those uncomfortable feelings, which are all part of achievement, all part of following your dreams, if we don't have commitment, if we're not aware that there are going to be struggles and challenges along the way, and that is perfectly normal, then the chances are that those good intentions just are not going to get off the ground, because our friend, the comfort zone, is going to rush in, and what's our comfort zone going to say? Let's do it later. Let's procrastinate. So make a commitment. Know that it's not always going to be easy. It's not. No, there is absolutely no successful entrepreneur I know who has set up their business easily. They've all overcome struggles and challenges, but they've asked for help, they've learned how to do things, and they've pushed through. And that's really important. That's the sign of commitment, pushing through. Mindset number 8 is to embrace abundance. And it's also related to owning your self-worth. Now, over the years, and you may not like to hear this, but what I have learned is that net worth is often reflected in your self-worth. So if you learn to love yourself more, if you learn to believe in yourself more, if you learn to believe in your capability and your ability to ask and to learn and to find out how to do things, which you already have in your life, I know for sure, then you're going to be golden. That's really important. So creating abundance and embracing it begins with you valuing yourself more, with you believing in yourself more. And as you do that, your confidence rises, your competence rises, and you start to attract people into your business and into your life that not only want to pay you for your services, and obviously then to create revenue for your business, but also they want to be part of your tribe. They want to be in your audience. They want to subscribe to your email database. They want to be part of your growth, and they want you to help them succeed and do exactly the same that you are doing as well. I hope that makes sense. So create abundance, love yourself, raise your self-worth, believe in yourself, and you'll get there. Mindset number 9 is to overcome negativity. So, as I said before, the road to success is paved with failure. I've made many mistakes. I remember one of my first webinars that I first did, one person showed up, and even she left halfway through the webinar because I hadn't quite set up the webinar correctly. I wasn't giving enough value. I didn't quite understand the problems at the time and the solutions that my audience wanted. Big lessons learned. Of course, after that, I've gone on to create my successful business and do hundreds of webinars and retreats and workshops afterwards. But, you know, this was a big mistake that I made. And every entrepreneur that I know makes mistakes like these. So the important point here to turn any negativity around is to use that same energy towards troubleshooting. So let me explain. So when I finished the first webinar that I did, I realized, of course, that it just wasn't up to par. It wasn't what I wanted to create. So what I did is I used my disappointment and sadness, not to berate myself, not to put myself down, not to tell myself that I'm not good enough, not to tell myself that I can't do this, but to use that energy to say, hey, you know what? That sucked. That didn't work. What do I need to do to turn this around and make a better webinar? What can I learn to improve the content? What can I do to attract more people to come and sign up for the webinar? All right, it's the same energy, but the choice is, do I spin that energy in my head and berate myself and tell myself I'm not good or I'm not good enough? Or do I use the same brain cells and the same energy to ask better questions? What can I do to improve this? What can I do differently? How can I increase my knowledge and my skills to do this right next time? You see how this works? Great, that's number 9. And number 10 that I want to leave with today is to consider banishing mediocrity out of your life. So no more playing small, no more being Miss or Mr. Average. I want you to raise your standards. So go beyond what you're capable of. Go beyond how you see yourself and focus on who you want to become in the next 5 or 10 years. Because if you look back now on who you are compared to who you were 10 years ago, you've changed, right? I know I've changed in my business. I've increased my confidence. I've created programs. I've helped hundreds of clients around the world. I've built an entire business, which back in the day, I didn't think was going to be possible. But I knew I had to focus not on who I was, but on who I wanted to become. I had to stop playing small. I had to stop putting myself down and lean in to my greatness, lean in to believing in myself, finding people who helped me to believe in myself, bringing in mentors and coaches, and following the types of people who were further up the ladder, who I wanted to emulate, who I wanted to be, whose successes I also wanted to replicate in my life as well. But it begins with your choice. And your choice is whether you're going to keep playing small and be mediocre, or whether you're going to step into who you can become, beyond your potential, beyond your capability now, but who you can become, what you can learn, what you can achieve. And again, following people who are further up the ladder, that resonate with you, that have that energy, that light you up, that excite you into being enthusiastic about your dreams and living life on your terms, exactly the way that you wish to do so. Now, these are 10 of the 35 mindsets that I have put together in a free online training. Now, you're welcome to come over and sign up for the 35 online mastery mindsets that you need, that I need in my business, that I have actually implemented, things that I have found out. I'm talking from experiences, things that I know that work and don't work in order to grow, create freedom, financial freedom, travel the world, create an online business that you love, and earn big money with what you know and who you are, in order for you to give back to society, to lead a meaningful life and have that fulfillment and joy and excitement that you want. If you'd like to see that training, come over to carlbrooks.com/training, carlbrooks.com/training. You can sign up for that. It's an hour training where I really impart the 35 top mindsets that I've learned in my business, and I will share that with you as well, so you can start this year strong and confident and take that first step into becoming who you want to become. And of course, I will also be making an offer at the end of that training to invite you to consider joining me for my Create Online Business Academy, Cobra, which starts on the 12th of February. More details inside the training at carlbrooks.com/training. All the information is in there for your consideration. I do hope that you will watch the training at least. And if you do not wish to join the academy, that's fine. I want you to relax and sit back and just enjoy the 35 mindsets that I share with you in that training. And of course, I look forward to seeing you here again very, very soon. I see that Sabrina is saying in the chat, Carl, really good webinar. When a person lost motivation in life due to challenge of work and money, what would be the first step to do? Great. So I really love this question, Sabrina, and I've been there. I remember working for 20 odd years in the corporate world, and although I was good at my job, I didn't feel particularly fulfilled. I was starting to lack the motivation because my heart was clearly calling me in a different direction, which was to start my own online business. So your question is, what is the first step? Well, the first step, of course, is to recognize that you have lost the motivation, and that perhaps what I found is that my life, my soul, is calling me in a different direction. So that lack of motivation is there for a purpose, for a positive purpose. It's there to show you that your soul is calling you in a different direction. It's calling you to perhaps take some steps to find out what that next step in your life is going to be, or what your true purpose is. It's calling you to believe in yourself, to get help, to ask, to follow other people who are perhaps further up the ladder to where you want to be. And it's also calling out to you to get very clear on your purpose and direction. So typically, when I was in that position, believe that where you are now, I did a lot of groundwork. I think I hired a life coach for about 6 months, and I literally looked at my purpose and what is the next chapter in my life? Where do I want to go? Who do I want to become? And I answered all of these sometimes difficult but personal questions so that I could refine, as it were, my motivation. So the first step is to take some time to reflect upon where you want to be, how you want to lead the rest of your life, and to honor the fact that losing your motivation is actually a positive thing, because it's actually a call in a different direction for you to investigate. Good luck with that, Sabrina. I hope that's answered your question. I'd love to see you also on the training to get all 35 online mastery mindsets. I shared the top 10 with you today. You can follow the training at carlbrooks.com/training. I look forward to seeing you on that. And hopefully, perhaps, if your dream is to create an online business on your terms, to create that freedom and financial revenue that you wish in your business, then I'd love to see you inside the Create Online Business Academy, Cobra. More details inside the training. Looking forward to seeing you there. Take care, and thank you for your time. Bye, everyone.